Jets fall to 2-6, 22-25 in a game that should not have been this close. Greg Zuerlein drops 4 points, leaves 4 points off the board, missing an extra point and a field goal. Dude should not be on the bus on the way home. He has now cost us the Broncos game, the Vikings game, the Bills game, just constantly having issues. We had a blocked extra point last week that we got saved on, had the 2-point conversion given to us on a penalty I didn't think should have been a penalty. Greg Zuerlein has absolutely crippled us from a close game perspective. And honestly, it shouldn't have been that close. Jets defense couldn't stop anything. They knocked Caleb Williams out early in this game. Not Caleb Williams, Drake May, sorry. Brissett comes in, has himself a little bit of a game, cannot stop running quarterbacks. Sauce got crisscrossed on the end there, giving up the big gain. Jets constantly giving up long third down conversions. 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. Consistently. Cannot get pressure. Hassan Reddick. Did he even show up? Why do we even adjust that contract? This postgame brought to you by BetUS. I'll talk more about them in a little bit. Jets lose 22-25. I've got Ulbricht's press conference and Aaron Rodgers' press conference pulled up. I'm going to vent to you guys, bitch and moan a little bit, hear your thoughts. This season is cooked. Absolutely cooked. This is worse than last year. Last year, you lose Rodgers for the season. At least you have the hope of, well, if he was here, it could have been all right. Jets now own, I believe, the 3rd pick in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. Patriots had the number 1 pick. Gotta figure we gave up the tiebreaker here. Do the Jets become sellers at the deadline? We got 1 week. November 5th is the trade deadline. Do the Jets start shipping off parts? Send anyone away you can. Get some draft picks? I'd say 9-1 feels unlikely the rest of the way out. Rodgers not looking great. Offensive line not looking great. Brees fumbles the ball, but Rodgers should have had another interception to his name. Wound up not getting it. Let's go through some statistics here. For the Jets, Aaron Rodgers finishes the day 17 of 28, 234 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like I said, he probably should have had 1 interception at least. Brees Hall, 16 carries for 80 yards. That's 5 yards a clip. Braylon Allen had 12 carries for 32 yards, 2.7 yards per carry, but had the touchdown. Garrett Wilson goes over 100 yards again. 5 receptions, 113 to his name. I still think it should have been challenged. That last play would have at least put you up at midfield with the clock stopped on a challenge. Now, I don't know if it would have been a 10-second runoff, but you still would have been able to spike the ball and get another play off. It sucks. Xavier Gibson had a 1-yard touchdown catch, his first of his career. Tyler Conklin had a nice 1-yard reception on a one-handed grab. Outside of that, Devontae Adams, 55 yards on 4 receptions. Tyler Conklin, 42 yards on 3 receptions. But the story of the day, Greg Zuerlein misses an extra point, misses a field goal, ends up costing the Jets the game. Team stats. Jets had 338 yards of total offense to the Patriots' 250. Patriots had 137 yards through the air, 113 on the ground. Third down efficiency, Jets were 4 of 10. Patriots, 7 of 15. And 1 of 1 on 4th down. Obviously, that final play was the conversion there. Jets had 8 penalties for 55 yards. Time of possession, virtually even. The Jets are not a good football team. This is an absolute disgrace of a team, a waste of a season, and I don't feel bad for anyone that wants to just stop watching the Jets right now because this is about as good as we've seen it. Do the Jets try to give up any of their pieces, trying to recoup something at the trade deadline? Ken comes in with a super chat. Ken says, "What a pitiful outfit. I swear I couldn't care less about the attempt at a football team. At this attempt at a football team, but somehow they always find a way to dampen my weekends." Yeah, look, I am not going to let this game rain on my parade. This fucking Jets team has been so piss poor all season. Jet Engine. This is a bad football team from top to bottom. Aaron Rodgers is done. The defense is crap. Gardner is not a good cornerback. No, he's not, Ryan. Please release Aaron Rodgers, Smith, and everyone over 30 years old. Trade Garrett Wilson and Sauce for picks. Rebuild, start over. Those conversations are going to start getting a lot louder. Now, it depends what happens with Douglas's contract, because he's in the final year of his contract. I don't think we're trading anyone before the deadline. I really don't think. Maybe Mike Williams, some side pieces. I mean, if you're smart, you trade Devontae right now. I know we reworked his contract, but man, if it's not worth it and he's on an expiring deal, it's going to walk anyway. This is ugly. This is really ugly. Rodgers does look washed. He looks washed. Sauce not having a good year. For all the good he did the first 2 seasons, not having a good year this year. Jet Engine, I think these conversations are going to continue to happen. Tyron Smith, do you start playing Olu Fashanu at this point? Do you start seeing what you have in Tyrod Taylor? Looking at maybe a Jordan Travis later in the season. I still think Rodgers is playing every game he wants to play. GM Rodgers and GM Woody seem to be taking control of this team. Oreo, trade Sauce, teams have figured him out. Look, I don't think it's a trade Sauce right now kind of a thing. And I think a different defense might be different. Might be different. I don't know. I think you'll save it for the next GM to figure out. I don't think you'll let Douglas make these moves. Rafi, I'm sorry, but fire everyone. Clean the goddamn house. JD got to go. Every single coach has got to go. Sauce has been abysmal this year. Imagine he's costing himself money. Time to draft a quarterback. Yay! Sarcasm. Fuck this team. Rafi, look, I'm right there with you. I think you wind up letting JD go. I think you clean house. Bring in whoever you want. Ben Johnson, throw the bag at him, Woody. Throw the absolute fucking bag at him. Do not allow a defensive-minded head coach to come in here or someone else. Go out and get the strongest offensive young mind you can get, or get the top coach that's just sitting out there. If you want to get Vrabel, if you want to get whoever. But, man, we need a reset in the worst way. It won't shock me if Sauce or Garrett get traded. Not before the deadline, but after the season. Douglas says, I'd say tank for a number 1 overall pick, but the Jets would guarantee F it up. Happiest man in the NFL is Zach Wilson with a clean uniform each week. Yeah, he's not getting hit. Rodgers is the one getting beat up. And Jet fans are left holding the fucking bag. We waited an entire year last year to see this football team. And this roster should be better. Clean house. Clean house. If Rodgers wants to play, I think you consider cutting him. I don't know if Woody's going to allow that. I think you got to at least let the new GM come in here and make that decision. If Woody gets his way, he's going to have the opportunity to try and keep Rodgers around for 1 additional year. You could sway me on it. Say you wanted to keep Rodgers for a year. Draft your quarterback. Let him learn behind Rodgers for a year. Let that quarterback duke it out against Jordan Travis and Tyrod Taylor or whatever. But, man, this is a disappointing fucking football team. Nanga. You can't keep JD now. No way. No, I don't. I think he's gone. Gardner doesn't deserve a contract. No, I mean, that's probably a good thing. You know, you're not holding out at least. Now you might hold on to him to try and get some extra value, because there's no point in trading for him when he's, down and out or whatever. Kings and Dreams. This is nasty work. Shake my head. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. Bogan. Will the draft matter? I feel bad for any kid we drag into this organization. Well, it's going to be a new regime. Going to be a totally new regime. Going to be new head coaches, new GM, new feel. Lots of good players. Look, this is a good roster. There's going to be some some tweaks that have to happen. Defensive line is not where it needs to be. Zuerlein should not be getting on the plane. Although, to be fair, we keep Zuerlein on this team and he caused us to miss a few more games. At this point, unless you feel like 9-1 is possible, losing games is beneficial. I want to win games. I want to win games. And I'm sick and tired of watching this fucking franchise week in and week out consistently lose games. Boys and girls, I've got Jeff Ulbricht's press conference pulled up. When he comes out, I will pull that over so we can all listen to it together, get Coach's thoughts. Same thing with Rodgers' press conference, both coming up here momentarily. But man, disappointing game. Disappointing game. I'm not going to let this rain on my parade. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I don't care. Not going to ruin my weekend. Jets lose 22-25. Like I said, I'll have the Ulbricht press conference coming up here in just a little bit. Let's look at some comments that you guys have going on in the chat. We've got 1,300 people in here. Hit that like button if you're just as pissed off as I am. Let's see if we can get this over 500 likes. For the life of me, I don't know why. I try to put up with this damn fucking football team. Before we get too far, I do want to recognize our sponsor of the channel, BetUS. If you want to make some money, just bet against the Jets consistently. Consistently. Get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Who else will be traded at the deadline? November 5th deadline coming up. Do the Jets have anyone to give up? Does Joe Douglas wind up making moves? Let me know. Presser coming up.
Then driving down, not being able to make a stop.
Yeah, we talk about being at our best when our best required, and that was not it. That's on coaching, first of all, and then second, we got to execute, and we did not execute in critical moments. We say that's not who we are, but it's who we are until we demonstrate otherwise.
Jeff, are you at a loss right now? Just kind of what's going on with this team?
I'm pissed. They're pissed. I'm hurt. They're hurt. We are not executing in critical moments, especially down the stretch right there. We had opportunities to win this game, should have won this game, and we didn't. So give credit to the Patriots. They took advantage of a team that didn't execute as well as they can.
Jeff, you talked about how you felt like this was the best week of practice you've had in a long time. Do you feel like that translated to the field today?
There were spots where it might have, but it just overall it wasn't good enough, you know. So we all got to take a hard look at ourselves, starting with me, and the process, practice, meetings, walk through all of it, and make sure everything is right, and make sure everything is being done at the highest level. Because right now, the product that we're putting out there on game day is not the product that's conducive to winning and building a culture that we're trying to establish here. So
there was a lot of talk, Jeff, about how Devontae speaking to you guys after the game last week had put that culture in the right direction. How much of a step back is it to lose in this fashion to a team like this and that kind of thing?
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts and it's hard. And you know, you get the process right and you get the energy right. And when it still doesn't produce the results that you want, it's just not the feedback that you want to give your players, your team, your organization. So this was more than energy, because I thought the energy was fine. That was not the where we fell short. Where we fell short was in the execution, and especially in the critical moments of this game. So we've got to get that right. Until that gets right, nothing else really matters.
What happened on the delay on the 2-point conversion? What led to it?
We got to be better from an operations standpoint, just overall, and that's every single player, every single coach. That's Aaron. That's all of us.
And in the first quarter, you had to burn 3 timeouts. I mean,
Same as.
Just not knowing where to line up.
We just got to be better collectively. Every single human being out there has got to be better. Aaron's got to be better. Coach has got to be better. All of us got to be better.
Jeff, I don't mean this in a rude way, but it's not a young offense out there.
Right.
It's a lot of veteran players. So how do mistakes like that happen when you have such a veteran team, specifically on the offensive side of the ball?
They shouldn't happen, first of all. Whether you're veteran, rookie, doesn't matter. inexperienced, experienced, doesn't matter. The operation of our offense, it should not do that. Does it happen every once in a while, every couple games? Maybe. But to happen as often as it did tonight, it's not good enough, and it's got to get fixed.
Jeff, do you regret sticking with Greg Zuerlein?
No, I do not.
Is there anything you would do differently if you could rewind those last few seconds of the game?
I'll take a hard look at the tape, and there's probably some calls that I could have adjusted and maybe done some different things, for sure. And there always is, but it's my job to put them in the best position to be successful, and I obviously didn't do that.
Greg obviously missed a number of kicks. Are you committed to them long term, or is it something you're going to look at?
Yeah, we got to take a hard look at everything that we do. Everything. It's not just on Greg. It's on all of us. So, and we'll do that this week.
What was your message to the guys in there?
This is a moment of darkness, and we understand that the outside world is going to get really loud right now. But the only thing I know in life is that when it gets dark and it gets hard, that you work and you point the finger at yourself and you look inward and you figure out what can I do better in an individual standpoint. If we do that collectively, which I believe we will, that's your only opportunity to dig yourself out of this. That's your only opportunity to improve and fix some of these wrongs. That's where we're fortunate that the character of this locker room, I think, they're going to demonstrate who they are.
A couple more.
You haven't had a lot of guys that have been through coming out of darkness. The guys have been through some tough seasons. How challenging is it for them to do it when they don't know what it looks like?
Yeah, there's a part of some blind faith when it comes to that, and understanding that all I can do is work, and you stack enough work up in a productive way that it results in the results that we want, and at the same time we're going to have to lean on some of these veterans that we have in this locker room, some guys that have been through it, some guys that have rebounded. It's going to take every single human being in there, coaches, players, support staff, everybody, to get this thing turned around.
Jeff, what did you think of the way Hassan played, and what happened to CJ?
Honestly, it's really hard for me to see exactly what Hassan was doing. I'll take a look at the tape and I'll let you guys know. But he was dialed in. He was focused. I felt his energy. I felt all that. So it'll be interesting to see the tape. And CJ in pregame, he had a neck, so he was unable to play, unfortunately.
Jeff, do you feel like maybe, I know you want to keep doing it, but do you feel like maybe trying to be the head coach, also call the defense, that your responsibilities are just being stretched too thin at this moment?
Like I said, I'll take a hard look at everything, and if that's one of the things that can help us, then it'll definitely be on the table.
Thanks, everyone. I'll let you know what's going on with the quarterback.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so that was Coach Ulbrich. We'll have Rodgers' presser coming up. I'll go to that as soon as he comes out to the podium. I'll go through some of your super chats in just a second here. Thoughts on Ulbrich? Dude's at a loss for words. Honestly, I think he feels like how a lot of fans feel. I think a lot of fans feel like it's on execution. I think we feel like it's on the coaching staff. Clearly not getting the right energy throughout the week or putting them in the right positions to win. This is on Aaron. 3 timeouts burnt in the first quarter is an absolute joke. Needing to go down to the 1 second left on the play clock to eventually delay a game on the 2-point conversion attempt to push you back 5 yards. Why not burn a timeout there? This is bad coaching. This is bad execution by players. This is a bad field goal kicker. This team is not focused. This team is not a team. This team doesn't feel like a team. This team sucks. It just sucks. AutoZone says, we gave up all these picks for Rodgers, for Adams, for Reddick. For what? We sacrificed our future for 2 and 6. I don't even know who to keep at this point. Look, I think when you have Rodgers, you do owe it to the team to go all in and try to make a run for it. I think the idea was right. We obviously couldn't have anticipated the Rodgers injury last year. But I think it was the right move. Ultimately not, because it's not working out. But man, I know what you're feeling right now, Otto. I do. Stokilo. Can I get a refund for my Rodgers jersey? Yeah, I wish I could too. I got one as well. Tommy Boy, Yankees down 0-2. Devils lost on Friday. Jets lose today. What the hell is going on? We just stink. That's what it is, Tommy boy. We stink. New York in general right now. Asking if he could get a refund on his jersey a second time. Rafi, when was the last time the Jets were a well-coached team? Every year, penalties and situational football kill them. I'm sick of all the losing. Is it worth going with a high-octane Ben Johnson and just figuring out the penalties? I think so. Is it worth having a dedicated head coach who's been a head coach before, who understands how to manage a game? Yes, that too. I'll go either way. Just don't give me the young, up-and-coming defensive guy. Don't give me the Adam Gase 2.0. Give us a shot. But man, this team for what feels like 15 years has been poorly coached, poorly disciplined. Just sucks. Hex, after seeing this game, we are going to have to fire Salah again. Yeah. Maybe we fire Salah a second time. Maybe that'll send a message. Defense clearly took a step back as soon as he was gone. Clearly took a step back. Jet Engine, you're sick and tired of losing. You're about where I was in 1993 or so. Just sub-boomer for Rodgers. This team is dystopian, Lovecraftian nightmare that none of us deserve. We don't deserve it. And honestly, I saw the best stretch of football I think the Jets have ever had between like 97 through 2009 or 2011 or whatever. Outside of that, man, either end of this has been fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. It's Cola. Honestly, I'm as loyal as they come, but it's got to get to a point where I don't think I'm going to watch another game this season. What did we do in a past life to deserve this? I don't know if I like... What did I do? What did all of us do? We could go like punch a kitten or something, like kick a box of puppies, whatever it is. We all fucking did it. And they're just sitting there laughing at us. Woody's got to sell the goddamn team. Boys and girls, we got nearly 2,000 people in this stream. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button, at least make this stream semi-fucking worth it after this goddamn loss. We're going to go to Rodgers' presser momentarily. BearPod, Devontae should regret coming. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if the Jets were like, hey, do you want off this team right now? It is okay. We will make the move because we suck. Realistically, we're not mathematically eliminated, so I think the Jets are still going to try and push for it. 9-1, not likely at all right now, but we're not eliminated, so I don't know. I think we'll sell off like a Mike Williams or like someone like that, but that's about it. Pump of Wall Street. I hope this is enough for everyone to stop watching. Yeah, I wish I didn't have a YouTube channel right now. That's where I feel. Bastards making me make content, losing season after losing season after losing season. Pluto. It's time to get as many first-rounders as possible. Just ship off everyone, right? Load up for the new GM. I think you let the new GM make the decision on players, though. I don't think you make the trades right now. If you want to trade off Devontae to try and recoup that pick, I'm okay with it. That I can live with. But I don't think the Jets are going to do that. I think Douglas is going to try and maybe make a small move for like Jefferson or something stupid like that at the trade deadline. It's ultimately going to cost us an extra pick. But I don't think the Jets are going to quote-unquote give up. They're going to say they're going to keep trying. And that season's not lost because they haven't mathematically been eliminated. But from a percentage standpoint, I ain't taking the Jets to make a wild card. Kings and Dreams. New York took an L this week. Yeah. Sammy, your mammy, says, can we bring back Richie Kotite? Feels like we probably should at this point. This fucking team can't figure it the fuck out. Excuse my French. Stokillo, whatever we did, we're very sorry. I think Namath just got to go. It's got to be the only thing. Right? Rafi, everyone wants Ben Johnson, but I want Vrabel. I'd take either one. I would take Vrabel. I have no problem. I think Vrabel's a very smart coach. I think from an offensive ball management kind of thing, I think Vrabel's the smart move. I don't really think we got a shot at Ben Johnson anyway. As much as Rodgers doesn't look great right now, I think the move is to try and just run it back with a new regime. Let them make the decision on whatever players they want to trade. Try to win as much as you can next year. I don't know if Rodgers necessarily wants to be done after this type of season or if he's going to try and cash in on his $35 million bonus that he gets this year. Be a ballsy move just to cut him. I think if he wants to play, I think he's going to continue playing. I think Woody's going to bend to that desire if that's the way it goes. Boys and girls, we're going to go over to the Rodgers presser momentarily. But I got to put on these shades. I got to put them on. Because the Jets are making me cry and you can't see it behind these shades. Thank you, Gooder, for sponsoring the stream. Sunglasses by Gooder. Promo code JetsTalk. Going to get you free shipping. These things, no joke, $25 to $35 a pair. I got myself 3 of them. Loving them. Only the good thing that could happen right now is you guys can't see me sobbing my goddamn eyes out. Because this Jets team sucks so bad because these sunglasses are so tinted. If you need a new pair of sunnies, Gooder is giving Jets Talk listeners free shipping. Go to gooder.com/JetsTalk. Use promo code JetsTalk to get free shipping. That's gooder.com/JetsTalk. Use promo code JetsTalk to get free shipping. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. We are going back to more of your comments and questions and concerns. Here for our New York Jets. Oreo says, worst part of all teams we needed to lose, lost. Yeah, all the teams we needed. Bengals lost. Like literally everyone in front of us. We had an opportunity. And we just got to stop thinking like that. Stop thinking about the playoffs. Stop thinking about all that shit. Doesn't matter. Just fucking sit back. Just say, yep, more of the same. More of the same. Week in and week out. Can't be talking about the playoffs. Thought I had a playoff button in there. I don't. It's all right. Joey Jets says, back to mock draft Mondays so soon. Yeah, I mean, it certainly feels like it. I've said to myself I won't be doing a mock draft until the Jets are officially mathematically eliminated. And because certain teams lost, it sort of ish opens the door, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to do mock draft Mondays yet. But I will certainly be watching more college tape. Shim Shack Collectibles, thank you for the super chat. Y'all didn't do anything as a fan base. You got my condolences. Drink on me, brother. New York Rodgers needs to change and adjustments need to happen ASAP. Shim, I appreciate the beer. I'm going to need it. I'm going to have my little soda right now. I need some gummies. That's what I need right now. For a team that's driving you a little bonkers, if you want to get yourself some Jet Life gummies, they have the 8 milligram and the 100 milligram. Jet Life 30 will get you 30% off over at Crescent Canna. Link in the description down below. Take a little 4-spot here. We're going to be coasting. Mumtaz, can we please now focus on next year and fix the offensive line? I don't know what we could possibly do better. We just got to get rid of the entire coaching staff and everything and just reset. Because I'll be honest, I didn't think the O-line was horrible. Clearly, Tyron Smith is beyond his playing time. His expiration date has passed. But it's hard to get a feel on this team with how poor the execution is, how bad the penalties are, how flat they consistently come out. Just seems like they're never ready. Burning 3 timeouts and then not calling a timeout at the end when you needed that 2-point conversion, fucking asinine. Absolutely insane. Greatest roster assembled, Ambassador Johnson. Good comment. Underrated comment. Can we talk about Greg? I don't want to talk about Greg. Hopefully Greg's not on our team much longer. Rodgers presser coming up.
Game like that, especially the way it played out and all the talk you guys had this week.
Yeah, frustration, for sure.
What were some of the first quarter with the having to use the timeouts? What were some of the issues that were going on
I'm not exactly sure. On one of them we were legging out the huddle. One I was trying to get the protection right. One I felt like we could have gotten off, but it's fine to take it there. But our operation was a little slow at times.
There's been other games that are close, like today. Are you seeing a difference in the first half versus the second half of the game? Losing energy?
No, I thought the energy was great today. I thought guys were engaged. I thought we played with some passion. We just execution-wise didn't do enough offensively. We set our sights on scoring 30, and it was right there for us. We hit 2nd and 1. Couldn't convert. There's points. Missed a field goal. So there we are right there.
I think when you discuss the operation with some of the issues there, the pre-snap penalties, using the timeouts, I think some of those problems you maybe sometimes expect with a young team or a youthful team where you lack the experience. Is it more frustrating that this is happening with a team that collectively on that side of the ball has played a lot of football?
I mean, it's not just you can't objectively say this is the reason why. There's a lot of we had some substitution stuff at times. We were late breaking the huddle. Sometimes after a big play, that can be a slow operation. We have shifts in motions on plays after some of those. We trying to get lined up, trying to get the play off, trying to get the right perfect call. There's a lot to look at.
And, after the first time you guys played the Patriots, I was very excited to get to meet you after the game. Up until he did go out, what were you just seeing from him as a rookie quarterback?
I think he was doing a nice job with his feet. He's obviously super athletic. He made a nice run for a touchdown. I don't know what happened to him, but he's been playing good the last couple of weeks. So it's tough on a rookie quarterback coming in, but it seems like he's getting more comfortable.
I don't think anyone would look at this roster and say it's a 2-6 roster. I'm sure you would agree with that. But so what's missing? What isn't happening?
Well, we're not playing complementary football. We haven't put it together really since the last time we won a game where all three phases played really well. Same thing today.
Aaron, I know you knew this was going to be an undertaking when you came here to the Jets, and you talked about changing things, the Lombardi Trophy, but has this even been harder than maybe you expected? I knew it would be challenging, but even harder than that?
It's a little dramatic of a question even for you. NFL's hard to win. Harder when you make it difficult on yourself. Offensively, we can't worry about what else happens. We got to be efficient. We got to make the most of the opportunities. There was, again, yards left out there, opportunities left out there. Can't leave it up to, we got to score touchdowns. Can't leave it up to Greg or try and pin it on Greg. We had a lot of opportunities to score 30 to make it two-score game at times and didn't do it.
On the 2-point delay penalty, what happened there?
Well, they start the clock at 20, and we had a shift in motion, and by the time it came down to it, the defense they were playing wasn't good for the play that was called, so
call timeout.
I figured let's just move it back to the 7, not that much of a difference. I like the play that we called. But they brought zero pressure, and I guess wrong, they guess right.
Couple more. You guys kicked a field goal on 4th and 1 from the 11. Did you have much input in that? Did you agree with the decision to kick?
I always back Brick.
What would your message be to your team at this point?
I'll tell them.
Aaron, there's a lot of guys in this team that haven't been a part of a lot of success before. Is it hard to keep the belief when guys haven't seen struggles turn into success?
Yeah, I imagine it could be. Yeah, not for me, but I imagine it could be. That's why the guys that have had success gotta lead to pull us out of this.
Rick,
Last one.
a few minutes ago, just said he called this a moment of darkness for this team. Is that how you see it, and how do you get out of it? I mean, because you could just stay in darkness as well.
Yeah, I've been in the darkness. You got to go in there, make peace with it. Offensively, our goal has just got to be score 30. Doesn't matter what the other two sides are doing. We have trust in our defense and teams, but if we're not scoring 30, we're underachieving. This offense can do that every single week.
Thanks, everyone.
So that was Aaron Rodgers' post-game press conference. The biggest takeaway for me there, seems like he's at a loss for words too. Obviously, when they asked him about the 2-point conversion, why the delay of game, they started at 20 seconds on a point after, or on the 2-point conversion. And, kind of made it seem like he was trying to blame a little bit of that. We had motion, makes it seem like he's trying to blame maybe the play call. Got down and then said, ultimately, decided we wanted to take the play from the 7, meaning he could have taken a timeout. And he says, I like playing from the 7 instead of the 2. That felt like a very, almost a backhanded, I'll take the blame for it, but also very much pinning it on Downing, pinning it on not getting the play call in, or too much pre-snap motion, whatever it is. I put that blame fully on Rodgers on a 2-point conversion. And the coaching staff, honestly, the two of them. Going into that drive, you need a touchdown, and or at the very least, you're going to want to get a touchdown. And if you do score a touchdown, you're going to need a 2-point play. So you had the entire time, whatever that was, multiple minutes of opportunity to say, all right, this is the only 2-point play we are going to call. Maybe you get 2 because you got to call timeout and you got to reset the alignment or something. But you have that whole opportunity the entire time, and to not get a playoff at the 2-yard line on a 2-point conversion, and you take a delay of game instead of even taking a timeout, which would have given you at least the option to run. That's on coaching. That's on Rodgers. The missed extra point, the missed field goal, that's on Zuerlein. That's why we lost this game. There's more issues we can nitpick about, but that is the crux of it. J Mark comes in and says, Woody needs to fire Jeff Ulbrich so we can get another spark. Rolls his eyes. Yeah, look, Saleh wasn't the issue. I said that at the time. I thought Hackett was the problem. I was surprised we fired Saleh at that point. I did think he was going to get the axe because you have to try and create a spark regardless of who winds up needing to fall on that sword. I just think Hackett should have been the move first. And I think Saleh getting the axe was just a symbolic gesture that ultimately is going to cost us more wins on the back half, because Ulbrich being head coach has not worked out. Has not worked out. And I like Jeff Ulbrich. I really do. I think he's trying to do the right thing. I think he's just in over his head and can't do anything. Wild Wave, Woody decided to nuke the season. What a moron. Yeah, Woody's an idiot. A straight up moron, if I do say so myself. Guy's been a joke the entire time he's owned this team. Guy's going to be 80 years old, and there's no way he's going to see a Super Bowl in his lifetime. Best thing that could happen, that dude fucking croaks. But then we got Chris Johnson. Anyone got any bad emails from Woody Johnson floating around? Can we Dan Snyder him? Just give him like a, hey, we got to force you to sell the team. You're bad for the league. The fact that they're trying to call for season ticket holders to re-up their season tickets is a joke. An absolute joke. If they raise the price, which I'm sure they did of season tickets, shame on Jet fans for buying them. I feel bad for the guys that got sucked into the PSLs and have to get them, otherwise they wind up losing that money. You're basically saying, hey, we're going to hold you hostage, and you will buy your season tickets from us, and we're just going to keep jacking up the price, and we're going to put a piss-poor performance out on the fucking field. That's what Woody Johnson's saying. He's saying, hey, look, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm making a bunch of trades and firing a bunch of people. No shot Douglas wants to come back. Not that we necessarily want him back anyway. This roster is the most talented roster and the most underwhelming roster I've ever seen. An absolute fucking joke. Absolute joke. David, the best part about following this team are the nutty, wacky jet callers on the podcast after the losses. What a circus. Yeah, I'm not going to take any calls today because I'm not going to let these Jets eat up any more of my time. I'm going to let this go. We're going to go for just under an hour, so I'll talk to you guys in the comment section of this video, or the live chat of this video, and then if you guys want to leave your thoughts underneath this in the reaction, I will get to, I'll try to get to all your questions and comments and everything after. But yeah, this is bad. Trap, how do I stop caring about this team? Just find something else to do. I'm not going to get myself worked up about it. I'm irritated. But I'm not going to let myself get worked up about it. The Jets haven't earned that much passion from me. The Jets franchise is a dumpster fire. Yes, this is accurate. Peter, no more mock drafts. This team makes us sick. Yep. You think darkness is your ally? I was born in the dark. Marty, boycott the franchise. I would love to see some type of like fan. I don't know what you do. Boycott. Don't tune into Halloween. They already got their money, right? Like, I would hope fans don't go to the games. That's sort of like, I mean, I can't even say that because like there's guys that bought season tickets, got locked in for 2 years of a lost season of Rodgers last year and a terrible season of Jets football this year. I feel bad. 10 teams done rebuilt while we still trying. This organization is a joke. Yeah, it feels like, every other team, Washington resets, Bears reset, Lions reset, Falcons reset. I'm sure there's more if you go down the list. Packers, I guess, kind of reset, went on to a new quarterback. Raging Jets fan says, looked like Pee Wee football out there today. That's a disgrace to Pee Wee football. Godson says, try and trade everyone on a 1-year deal. It's over. Yeah, I think whatever you can get is worth it. Unfortunately, Joe Douglas is the GM on a lame duck contract, so I think it's unlikely that he's going to trade people at this point, unless he knows where he might go next year and starts making like wheelie deals like, I'm going back to the Eagles. I'm going back to this team, that team. Send him over there. That's what I would do. If I was Douglas, I had authorization to do shit and just trade stuff off. I'd be like, all right, where do I think I'm going? I'll try to get the players I want. This team sucks. Max says, this proves Matt LaFleur is the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it. We knew he was a good offensive mind anyway. Michael says, Pete Carroll or bust, need a coach that knows how to change a culture. I would go for Vrabel or Stefanski. Those would be the two guys that I would prefer. Carroll's fine, but I think he's a little long in the tooth at this point. Dean, you had no problem dumping Salah. Why is the kicker still on this team? He is a total dud. Well, yeah, I don't have a problem dropping Salah. I really don't. I think this team had bigger issues than Salah. I thought Hackett should have been demoted prior to a Salah firing. I think it should have been Hackett gets demoted, they lose versus Buffalo, then Salah loses his job. That's how I played it out in my head. Did not go that way. But yeah, look, kicker's got to be booted too. I agree. Mangold was part of the glory years. Can't burn his jersey. No, I'm not burning his jersey. Not going to do it. The laughter says draft Cam Ward. Jets did have Cam Ward, did have scouts down at the Miami game last week. It's possible that is something they're looking at. Greg, this may be the most disappointing team to ever get on an NFL field. They are playing like middle schoolers. And for Christ's sake, can we pull the plug on the leg? They drained our souls this year. Yeah, look, I'm just happy I accepted the job I accepted and not did this full time. Man, that would have really burnt me up. This damn team. Jake, Sauce is overrated. He certainly is this year. Big Will, season ticket holders need a rebate. Yes, they do. They really do. Going to MetLife on Thursday, I will be taking my paper bag with me. Brandon, as you should. As you should. This Halloween, I'm getting drunk after the kids get home from trick-or-treating. Dude, I'm right there with you. I have no interest in paying attention to this team. Chris Jones says, tickets go up every year. Fans don't deserve this. They don't. Usually when you have a shit product, prices go down. Someone needs to purchase this Jets franchise immediately. Yes, I will make sell the team t-shirts. I will make sell the team t-shirts. I'm sure there's plenty out there already. But man, we gotta make some noise or something. This team's killing us. Jets are officially the worst team in the league. Are they officially right now? What does Tankathon say? Jets currently own the 4th pick. We are just behind New England. So New England, as of right now, has the 4th pick. Carolina at 1, Tennessee at 2. Tennessee and New England play next week. If the Titans win, the Jets move up to 3rd. New England would be 2. So week in and week out now, I will be keeping my eyes on the Tankathon ratings. Not that I necessarily want to tank, but just because it is relevant at this point. Superman says, bench Zach Wilson. Yes. Jezron saw Jets-Giants preseason. Greg the Leg was missing kicks then. When do you at least bring in some audition to kick for the kicker spot? One job and he fails miserably. Yeah, they brought in kickers this past week, or the last 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever it was. They brought in competition during training camp. And he's actually the kicker for Washington right now, having a great season. Like, you just assume Greg's going to be a little bit better than he was in preseason. Gets back to his normal self. In season, though, Greg has been horrible. Absolutely horrible. Sad thing is, we really shouldn't have had to rely on Greg in these games. He would have bailed us out, and today dearly cost us. But there were opportunities to win this game outside of his leg. Not just this game, multiple games. TGW, trading Reddick now would be hilarious. I mean, if you could trade him, I'm all about it. I can live on that. We need to find a video of Woody on Epstein's Island. Oh, geez. Ross. So from watching Rodgers, he's clearly scared of getting hit, right? Doesn't and won't climb the pocket. Yeah, Rodgers is certainly an issue in this whole thing. I don't want to brush that under the rug at all. Rodgers' lack of mobility is equally hurting the Jets as much as bad play calling and lack of execution. TG. My only issue is I don't want Woody to get $7 billion for the worst job ever. Yeah, that's just it. Like, when you own something and it goes up in value, whether your ass had anything to do with it or not, you're making a shit ton of money on it. Sucks. Ryan turning Patriot red. Yeah, it's definitely my my rosy Irish complexion under these lights. Probably not helping the cause. White balance might be a little off with the shades, but that's okay. J-Boy, real fans sell out MetLife Thursday with paper bags and sell the team signed shirts. If Fireman Ed did it, ESPN would run with it hard. Yeah, Ed's not going to do that. And I don't think Jet fans should spend their hard-earned money. I think there's, I'd rather get drunk and eat Halloween candy. Eric V, Q, in a way, I feel bad for Jets fans, but it's crazy how a bunch of players can't play as a team. Salah had your team buzzing last year. Now your coach and GM is Rodgers. He's gone next year. Yeah, I mean, I think they might even. I don't think Woody's going to cut Rodgers. I think he's going to let Rodgers decide because that's his cash cow. And Woody cares about his money. It would not shock me if we roll into next season with Rodgers at quarterback, or at least on the roster. Sodak. This week, you have to extend or fire Joe Douglas. I'd keep him and tell him to trade players and rebuild. If you fire him, get someone in to sell off the assets. You're not going to find someone in season as a good GM candidate. If you don't mind what Joe Douglas has done, if you think the players assembled were good, then maybe you consider something like that. I mean, you run a hell of a risk. You either neuter Joe Douglas and make him lame duck so he can't make a trade, or you extend him. I do agree with that. It's going to be very hard to justify a Douglas extension at this point. I would just let it ride out, and if Douglas, if the players start balling out and they look good, offer Douglas a contract. Woody's going to have to overpay ultimately to keep Douglas if he wants him. Bang says, the lipstick has worn off the pig. NFL is not Madden. Yeah, you're not going to be able to trade all these guys. Not going to be able to make it happen. Gary V wants to buy the team. Gary V doesn't have that much money to be able to do it. Daniel, do you keep Rodgers? I am fine with moving off of Rodgers, but I would say this. I think holding on to Rodgers and I think a new coaching staff, new regime could spark something. I would say that Rodgers won't impede me from trying to figure out the quarterback position beyond him. So if you have an opportunity to draft your quarterback in the first round, go do it. It's okay. If the new GM says, hey, look, Rodgers, we're cutting you and that's it, you're either hanging it up or you're going to somewhere else, that's fine too. I think Woody should get the fuck out of the way and allow whatever the new GM is to make that decision. But I have a hunch that Woody's going to get in the way, and he's going to force the Jets to hold on to Rodgers because that's his cash cow. That's my guess. That's my guess. What's your theory on why we have regressed? Because we are worse every week. Look, I don't know. I think we're a poorly coached team, first and foremost. I think Rodgers has regressed from where he was initially. He's still got some good plays in him and everything. I think lack of execution. This team's just, I don't know if they were full of themselves coming into the season and just couldn't figure it out. Maybe preseason is something they should have figured out. Not having a mobile quarterback. Like Rodgers not being mobile. Like if you could have given me Zach Wilson's mobility with Aaron Rodgers' arm, that's a good fucking quarterback right there. Rodgers not being able to move the way he did, can't extend plays, can't allow those broken plays to happen. And he's getting teed off on. Our offensive line just isn't playing the way they need to play. So I don't know. It just sucks. Really, really sucks. Max says, if you have season tickets, get rid of them. I feel bad for season ticket holders. They get the shaft every year. These tickets, they call me every year. They're like, hey, you want season tickets? I said, they're going to be cheaper than the price of a beer by the end of the season if the last 15 years is any indication of how this is going to go. Fucking terrible. Josh says, got my invoice for next year's tickets. Not renewing. Don't care who they get this offseason. Can't fall for this nonsense again. Yeah, look, if you got screwed out of money for this season tickets and stuff, don't give the Jets your hard-earned dollars. Don't do it. Fernando says you got to let Rodgers walk next year. Get new coaches. Get rid of Douglas. Trade away any Packer-related players. It sucks because there's some good players on this team. But I agree. I think you got to reset everything and allow the new GM to make the decision. If he wants to keep Rodgers for a year, so that way you can let the young quarterback that you draft not take all the hits, I'm fine with that too. I don't mind Rodgers coming back for another year. I really don't, because I think we're in a bad spot regardless. But if new GM wants to move off of him, just reset the whole clock. I mean, you could go for it. You could go for it. It wouldn't shock me if we move some major pieces in the offseason, though, with the new GM coming in. Greg says, I've had enough football for one day. Gonna eat dinner, watch the next pay-per-view in a couple of hours, go to work. Just done today. Yeah, this stream's going to end in 5 minutes. We're going to take it to the 1 hour mark in the stream. I'm not going to let this Jets team ruin any more of my day. I'm going to go hang out with my kids. Sauce doesn't get beat. The Jets win. Yeah, Sauce didn't look good. He got crisscrossed applesauce. Logan says Reddick didn't have one stat today. Maybe had a pressure, but no assist or tackle or sacks. He was in on one sack, but I don't think he got credit for it. I think Quinnen got the credit for that sack. Roger Rabbit says, Ryan Big Dog, you literally the only brother that can make me feel better after a Jets loss with the awesome YouTube channel. I'm literally hot. I can't shake this off. Roger Rabbit, I appreciate that. I appreciate you tuning in. I am not optimistic. This is some of the lowest I've felt in a long time. And this isn't like, end of last year, me rooting for losses and like being pissed off that we won a game here or there to miss out on Malik Neighbors and Roman Dunze and Joe Alt and all those guys. This is me like just flat out saying like, I don't know what the right direction is. I don't. Everyone's got to go. Everyone's got to go. That's all I can say. Bet you merch sales are close to zero. They better be. Rob wants to know what my last name is. Ryan Jets Talk. That's my name. Yeah, you can find it. It's not too hard. Do we start preparing for mock drafts? I am going to start looking at college games now. If you guys want, actually, let's do this. Maybe, do we want to watch college games of the week? Let's do that. I've always wondered. You guys can let me know what you think. If you want me to do watch parties for some college games of the week, kind of highlight some players, talk about stuff going on. See if it makes sense. Ryan, do you think they'll cut Greg? I do. I think they're going to cut him at this point. Nigel, I'm done supporting this. I'm officially teamless. I don't blame you. Rex Ryan, return, please. We're just looking for any kind of form or hope. Mike says this team was supposed to be a top 3 defense, top 3 run game. Passing was supposed to be supplemental. Yeah, it was supposed to be. We got sold a false bill. We really got screwed. The sad thing is if the Jets lost to the 49ers, or lost to the Commanders and lost to the Patriots at the end of last year, I'm watching Jaden Daniels right now go off. Would have had the number 2 pick. Could have taken him if we wanted. We wouldn't have done that, though. Paul, question. I honestly think that the Johnsons sell and the Jets come back to Queens. The Jets will continue to be cursed. What do you think? I'm willing to try anything. Getting rid of Woody Johnson feels like the only consistent thing as to why the Jets have been a laughingstock the last 15 to 20 years. Get one of these big crypto guys that just has $1 zillion. Go buy the team. Get rid of Woody Johnson. J-Boy Ryan, thank you for what you do. Talking Jets guys and other YouTube podcast guys need the love for holding the fan base together. Look, at least we give you guys somewhere to come in and commiserate. I know for me this is a therapy session every time I come on here, and we got over 1,000 people in here that are venting the same kind of way. I appreciate you guys being here. There's a lot of places you could be on your Sunday, especially when this team has already wasted a bunch of your time to begin with. So it's appreciated. Mark Cuban would be a good owner. I would love to get Mark Cuban. I would do anything to get Mark Cuban as our owner. Ryan, why don't you do college live streams? I watch college football weekly. Mainly because I take my whole Sunday up to do like football content, and the wife gets. I got 2 young kids. That's the heads or tails of it. But I would do the primetime game, like the 8:00 game. Do like a little game stream or something, especially if the Jets aren't playing in primetime. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll look at certain games, see what's going on. Cam Ward could totally land in our lap. He could. I think we should be looking at quarterbacks early on. It's brutal. Absolutely brutal. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to hang it up here. I'm not going to give this team any more time. You guys are split pretty much on the college games. 55% say yes, do it. 45% say no. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do the college football playoffs. That'll be a good compromise because Jets season will be totally over by that point if it's not already. Boys Boys and girls, it would mean a whole lot if you hit that like button on your way out of here. See if we can get this up over 500 likes for our damn Jets. If you think you deserve better, hit the like button. If you want a new head coach, hit the like button. If you want a new GM, hit the like button. If you want a new owner, hit the like button. Log out of your account, log into your wife's account, girlfriend's account, sister's account, brother's account, hit the like button. If you want a new kicker, I don't even know if I said that, hit the like button. It's been a tough go of it. Want to thank the sponsors of the channel, both Gooder sunglasses, promo code JetsTalk at gooder.com/JetsTalk. Get your free shipping, $25 to $35 on shades. Not too shabby. Pretty good for the Christmas season. And if you haven't done so already and you want to sign up for BetUS, get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Are there any trades at the deadline? Do the Jets become sellers? Do they somehow become buyers? Whew! Sneezing over here. Do the Jets become sellers? Do the Jets become buyers? Do other players get traded? Head over to BetUS. Throw a little money down. Get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 using YouTube 150. Boys and girls, this team fucking sucks. Let's just call a spade a spade. This is Jets Talk. Signing off. Have yourself a good day.